This book takes place at Bedford High, making it a kind of sequel to Secrets Can Kill. I say kind of because none of the characters from that book reappear. Daryl Gray gets mentioned a few times as the evil criminal that Nancy busted. Poor Daryl. He makes out with Nancy, and all he gets out of it is a bad reputation.
Argo Funk Book Review. Argo Funk Book Review.
As you can tell from the title, this is a football book. Bess is dating a high school football player named Bill. A player named Lonnie is making moves on George. The main player on the team is quarterback Rob Matthews. He's dating head cheerleader Cynthia Tyler, because apparently it's a high school rule for quarterbacks to date cheerleaders. Rob takes a bad hit in the game and his head smashes against the ground. He tries to brush it off like, "Come on, coach, I can still play. I didn't get any brain damage from that hit. All I did was forget long division, and that stuff's not useful anyway." Coach is, not very responsible, so he lets Rob back into the game with a minute left. Rob scores the winning touchdown, and everybody goes to a restaurant named Touchdown to celebrate. Cynthia works there as a waitress, so I can only assume they're going to get her employee discount. Only Pete the manager is on the warpath. He starts shouting that someone stole money from the cash registers, and he fires Cynthia on the spot. No employee discount for her! At dinner, Rob feels dizzy and collapses. Either he's really in love with Cynthia, or that football injury is worse than it seems. They rush him to the hospital, where the doctors confirm he has a concussion. Rob runs away from the hospital before they can do any tests. Nancy warns Coach that Rob is in danger, but Coach just laughs it off like, "I'll take him out of the game if you get a doctor's note saying his health is in jeopardy." "Oh wait, you can't! He ran away before the doctor showed up!" "Oh, I should be a stand-up comedian if this coaching gig doesn't work out." Nancy goes undercover as Nancy Edwards to see who's robbing the restaurant. The restaurant appears to only have 3 employees. Pete is the grumpy manager, Edgar is everybody's best friend, and Mark is the laid-back assistant manager. Mark is suspicious because when Rob passed out, Nancy saw Mark reaching into Rob's bag. Nancy doesn't confront Mark about this because reasons. The culprit breaks into Nancy's car to steal $400 from Rob's bag, and Lonnie beats up a teammate for no reason. At work, Pete gets a disturbing letter. Nancy makes up an excuse to leave work and she follows Pete. Pete goes to a gym where he meets a suspicious guy named Doc. They talk about how somebody's onto them and the plan is falling apart. More importantly though, the receptionist at the gym is hot and he asks Nancy out on a date. Score! She gets his phone number, because you never know when you might need to call a hot gym guy, am I right? More money is stolen from the restaurant. Pete tries to blame Edgar, but when Pete is yelling, he accidentally drops an envelope full of the stolen cash. Wow, talk about an incompetent criminal. "Somebody stole a bunch of money! Please ignore the suspicious wad of money in my pocket. That's totally different money. Don't question me, you're fired." Nancy makes an excuse to leave work again, and she follows Pete. He puts the money in a post office box and goes home. Nancy sees Edgar drop off a letter at Pete's house. She steals it, and oh no, it's an anonymous blackmail note! So that's why Pete is robbing his own restaurant. He is paying off a blackmailer. Also, Nancy, Pete, and Edgar were all working 15 minutes ago. Now they're all at Pete's house at the same time. Who's running the restaurant right now? Nancy tries to get info from the doctor, who won't say anything besides the fact that Rob's liver is in bad shape. At the next football game, the guys are extremely violent and angry. Nancy tells all of this to Hot Gym Guy, who confirms the football players are on steroids. That's bad. Nancy tries warning Coach, but he doesn't care. Again, this is not a responsible coach. At the restaurant, Pete compliments all the football players. He gives them free goodie bags and winks openly. That's pretty blatant there, Pete. Considering this and the cash he stole earlier, I can only guess he's trying to get caught. Nancy intercepts a goodie bag, and sure enough, it's filled with steroids. Pete is giving steroids to the football players. So Nancy goes to the police and no. Nancy follows up on the Edgar angle because let's chase after the least likely suspect. That's what good detectives do. As it turns out, Edgar was delivering messages for Mark. He had no idea they were blackmail letters, he thought they were work schedules. Nancy sends everybody a letter telling them to meet at the football field. They all do, and helpfully they all chat about their various crimes. Doc tries to shoot Nancy, but her friends jump out and a brawl breaks out. But fortunately for our heroes, the steroid-laced athletes decide to run away instead of fighting. Lucky break there. The criminals are arrested, Edgar is promoted, the football team wins the championship, and Rob gets redeemed because he's on the cover of the book. The end. Post-book follow-up. I kinda liked this book. I didn't like recapping the book. I thought my recap was difficult to write and not very funny. But whatever, the book was good though, even if my recap wasn't. The Undercover Waitress storyline was neat, even if it was unrealistic how Nancy's able to make a weak excuse to leave work twice in a row. The high school football story was also interesting, although I have to question why we never saw Walt Hogan, the football captain from Secrets Can Kill. He gets mentioned, but not seen. Hey, is this book the reason why they made the football guy a steroid abuser in the first Nancy Drew game? This book is about his teammates taking steroids. Coincidence? I saw a complaint that the steroid mystery is too easy, and yeah, if you think about it, you can easily guess what's going on. Buff athletes, prone to erratic fits of rage, refusing to see real doctors, Doc is talking about supplying something. The clues are there and blatant. The restaurant mystery is more balanced, with each characters having 1 to 2 things that make them suspicious. Overall, the book is good. It fits the series perfectly well. I give Nancy Drew Files number 45 out of bounds a 7 out of 10.